Good evening, America, and welcome back to the Weekly Scrub. I'm your host, Josh Vlad Kupon. And to answer your question, yes, but to be fair, I did ask her to drug me. Our top story tonight, the LA Lakers competed against the Sacramento Kings on January 4th. During the game, Lebron James pushed past King defenders to score 2 points in the fourth quarter. After scoring, he yelled to the crowd, quote, "I'm a motherfucking problem." Coincidentally, this is the same line used by Antonio Brown before removing his clothes and running off the field. After an interview with Joe Rogan, Dr. Robert Malone was banned from Twitter. Both he and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene were both banned in the past couple of weeks for daring to question the Ministry of Health. Wait. It has just been reported to the Weekly Scrub that a picture was released of all the Republicans who've decided to defend Representative Greene and fight against big tech censorship. Yeah, that was to be expected. This just in, medical scientists confirm that transgenderism is in fact biologically valid. How else could you explain how Congresswoman Greene has bigger balls than all the male Republicans? In other news, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was caught partying maskless in Miami, Florida. When prodded about her hypocritical actions after months of mocking Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, she replied on Twitter saying, quote, "If Republicans are mad they can't date me, they can just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet." Oh, AOC. In excess of sexual attention is not a curse you will ever suffer from. A new movement has appeared within the left-wing ranks. Men across the country are getting vasectomies to show their support for abortion. This comes on the eve of multiple states following the Texas and Mississippi-style legislation. When surveyed, many on the right said they supported the action because it meant that leftists will stop breeding. In local news, over 1,200 reports have been filed with Larimer County regarding businesses who have violated the mask mandate. When questioned regarding the identity of these snitches, Larimer County's Health and Environmental Officer, the Gons, replied, quote, "Strangely, every report we have received has come from an address with one of these signs in their front yard." Who would have guessed? This week marked the anniversary of the January 6th protest. No, that's not it. No, that's BLM. Oh, there we go. In a special session at the Capitol, Congress spent several hours recalling the horrors they experienced by pointing to different parts on a teddy bear and declaring, quote, "This is where January 6th touched me." In other January 6th news, Senator Ted Cruz said this.
We are approaching a solemn anniversary this week, and it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol.
This just in, Ted Cruz calls the FBI after daughter's room looks like this. His wife and children are reportedly frustrated with the senator for referring to every mess as an act of terrorism. In December, Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian reportedly sent a request to the Center for Disease Control complaining about the long quarantine requirements for vaccinated employees infected with COVID-19. In a completely unrelated announcement, CDC cuts quarantine times in half. Man, I love science. In international news, the Australian government has begun arresting and escorting COVID-positive citizens to quarantine camps. As many know, Australia was once pedestaled as the pinnacle of progressive gun control after the mandatory buyback of 1996. The Weekly Scrub asked several Americans for their thoughts on the situation. According to one man, quote, "I'm very sympathetic and brokenhearted over the conditions down there, but also, sucks to suck, dingo f***ers. Maybe next time you'll listen to us ignorants up here in the good old US of A." This just in, fans of the former men's coach Jack Murphy asked critics to back off because everyone has skeletons in their closet. Or in their ass. According to the New York Post, the Biden administration spent time with several legacy media outlets, quote, begging them to give favorable coverage to President Biden. When this report was identified as the clearest example of propaganda and literal fascism, many Antifa accounts tweeted, quote, nuh-uh, fascism isn't the coupling between private corporations and the state. Fascism is the allowance of free speech, free enterprise, and duly elected leaders. You're so dumb. Did anybody else notice that he misspelled your? Our final story for the night. A time capsule was discovered at General Robert E. Lee's statue in Richmond, Virginia. According to archaeologists, it's dated from 1887 and contains several typical items from the era, such as Confederate memorabilia and a photo of Abraham Lincoln lying in his coffin. However, there was one item that was completely unexpected. A note that read, quote, we own slaves, sure, but at least we use their preferred pronouns. We're not savages. This has been your weekly scrub. I'm your host, Josh Vlad Kupan. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Good night, America. And remember, voting for Republicans is like amputating your legs to make your penis look larger.